All right, so the biggest decision that you're probably going to make in your life is the investment decision. And this is why I'm taking the time to make this video and to talk to you directly, face to face, eyeball to eyeball. And the reason why I'm actually going through this is so that you can make the proper decision, the most important decision, or probably the most important decision that most people make, which is the decision to invest. So investing is the most important thing that a person could actually do, because if you look at the list of the richest people in the world, 90% of them are self-employed people. They've invested their time in doing something. So whether you're going to school, whether you're an entrepreneur who wants to start his own business, whether you're a trader, and this video was primarily targeted at traders, but every trader is also investing. Whether you're an investor, full-blown, you invest in real estate or something like that, you really need to know your investing personality type so that you can actually be in tune with who you really are, so that you know what you should spend your time doing, spend your energy doing. So the most important decision that anybody has to make is the decision to invest or not to invest. And sadly, most people don't actually invest. So if you're really into making money and changing your life, because whether you like it or not, we live in a planet of money. And if you're hearing this and if you're seeing this, some money was used in order to have this transmitted to you. And if you're actually hearing this, then you're using some form of money. So it's going to be very important how you make money, how you keep money, and how you decide to multiply money. And I'll just share the little bit that I can muster to share with you, and hopefully this will create some wealth in your life. So in order to discover your investing personality, you have to realize that there are two things that are involved. There's a personality type and there's a personality trait. So this is the difference between your character and your behavior. So the personality trait, the trait actually means track, so which means the way. So the personality trait is like a line, a way, or how you carry yourself, the way that you behave. So this is the personality trait. So people have these different traits that you can actually discover. So the way that you behave is the trait of your personality, or the traces of who you really are. And the personality type is the quality of who you are in terms of your temperament. So temperament is a very interesting word. Temperament is how you are composed. So this is your composure. So your personality trait is your disposition, and your personality type is your temperament. So disposition means how you move, the position, how you position yourself. So all of this is just in line with how you're supposed to position yourself as an investor, how you're supposed to position yourself as an entrepreneur, how you're supposed to position yourself as a trader, how you're supposed to position yourself, and how you're supposed to be tempered in all that you're doing. So temperament is an interesting word because it comes from the Latin root, and the root of temperament is actually temperatura and temperamatura. So the Latin root for temperament actually just means a mixture. So temperament, or your personality type, is how you are balanced as an individual. So the first person who actually described personality types, or the first recorded person who did that, is Hippocrates, the Greek physician. So he was the person who started digging deep into this. So he actually discovered 4 different types of temperaments, 4 different types of personalities, 4 personality types, and these are the archetypes of what we call personality psychology and all of that. In the modern day sense, the person who wrote about personality types or psychological personality types is Carl Jung, and he's the one who was talking about introverts and extroverts. But before that, Hippocrates was describing personality types as simply not simply, actually complicated. It's actually weird. They were described as four humors. So these humors are how he was describing the human dispositions based on the liquids in our body. So this is how we get a humorous person. So this is a person who's well balanced in everything. But this humor, or these humors, the four types of liquids in our bodies, which according to him are blood, white bile, black bile, yellow bile, and phlegm. So all of these different humors in the body cause different dispositions, cause different movements, cause different traits. So this is where we get the different personality types that are choleric, melancholic, sanguine, and phlegmatic. So these different personality types are described from there, and I'm not gonna really get deep into that because there's like some background to it, but basically it just means that the person's mixture of fluids in the body determines the person's humidity, so to speak. And this is interesting because we all know that the human body is 3/4 water or 3/4 humor. So this humidity is actually the lifeblood. And taking it a little bit further, what we're talking about is currencies, right? And then the currency is how the water flows and all of that. So here, when we're talking about investing, we're talking about cash flow. So cash flow, we're talking about liquid, we're talking about humidity, we're talking about how the water flows. So this is very important in determining how you actually interact with different people. And your humidity, your warmth, this is why we talk about the warmth of a person. Oh, this person is so cold. This person is really hot-headed and all of these things. And this is described in the four humors, just like the four seasons. So the characteristic that is most akin to spring is sanguine, summer is the choleric, and winter the phlegmatic, and melancholic is autumn. So all of these are the different classifications of the different humors, and just like everything is just the same. The body is 3/4 water, the same, the earth is 3/4 water. So everything was created by God just like that, so that it's just in this pattern. So when you begin to realize your own pattern and your own disposition, how you move your own character, the mixture of your temperaments, because the key here that I really wanted that I want you to extract from this is your balance is the most important thing. So if I can just put that across, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business person, if you're a trader, if you're an investor, whatever you do, you have to know what your disposition is. Some people don't have the luxury to wait for a maturity of a 2-year-long bond, and some people have this sanguine nature, which is extroverted, which means that you always want to do something. So if you're very, very extroverted, perhaps if you're trading, for example, maybe day trading is something that you would actually like to do. And to discover your trading personality, so to speak, is to be able to know the type of person that you are and the things that you can actually tolerate and the things that you can't. So some of the things that would work for a person who wants to be a swing trader, for example, would be a person who perhaps is more introspective, a person who's perhaps a bit melancholic, and a person who is self-aware. So the key here is for you to be self-aware so that you know your own personality, because these habits are where you are going to be able to extract cash flow from everything that is happening in the market and in terms of how you interpret the information that comes to you as an individual. So so many people see so many videos right now. We have so much information online, and so many people see all of these videos and all of these people who have their own ways of trading according to their personality traits, according to their personality types. So you have to know your own disposition, you have to know your own character, so that you can have the ultimate or the optimum result from your own investments. So I just hope that you can really just be self-aware enough to know exactly what would be the best method for you to actually use in order to get the best result from whatever you're doing. So this is basically the point that I wanted to share with you, that the balance, how you balance yourself out, is the most important thing. And there are basically different ways that you can actually invest your money. There are different ways that you can make a profit, but the most important consideration that you have to make is whether or not you're going to invest. If you're not going to invest, then you're doomed to work for a paycheck. That is just it. And if you're going to invest, then you are the person who writes your own paycheck for yourself. So before you start on this journey of investing, you have to investigate. This is where the word comes from. Investing is all about investigation. So the first investigation is within you. So when you know yourself, then you'll be able to know exactly what you're supposed to do. You'll be able to understand your weaknesses and make those weaknesses your strengths. So Ray Dalio, and I'm just going to close with this. Ray Dalio is a billionaire who is the trader or investor for Bridgewater, which is the biggest hedge fund in the world. He manages $160 billion. So he said that the only thing that is his advantage is that he knows that he has limitations. Socrates, on his deathbed, says that the only thing I know is that I know nothing. So when you know that you have these limitations, then it will be very easy for you to extract money and to make a huge profit. So I hope that this is applicable to you, and hopefully this will also enrich your investments and in everything that you do. So thanks a lot, and see you soon, I guess.